Hello students, welcome to this online course of Water Resource Engineering. So today we are going to learn about consumptive use or evapotranspiration. This you have some idea in the lecture of hydrology in the previous semester. So there while discussing the various losses I have taught you evapotranspiration also. So evapotranspiration is nothing but the combination of evaporation with the transpiration. So evaporation and transpiration combinedly are termed as evapotranspiration. So let us see what it is the meaning of evapotranspiration, why it is important for irrigation, and how we are going to deal with it. So consumptive use for a particular crop may be defined as the total amount of water used by the plants in transpiration and evaporation from adjacent soils in any specified time. So what is consumptive use? It will be firstly defined for a particular crop. And what is it? It is the total amount of water used by the plant. Why plants are using? In the process of transpiration and evaporation. So the total water used in the process of transpiration and evaporation for a particular plant from the adjacent soil in a specific time is termed as consumptive use. So as the name is also suggesting, what is the water consumed, it will be termed as consumptive use. So the values of consumptive use may be different for different crops and may be different for the same crop at different times and places, because the transpiration and evaporation will not be same for the one crop, and for the same crop it will be different at different places depending upon the various climatic and weather conditions. In fact, the consumptive use for a given crop at a given place may vary throughout the day. So at a same place for a same plant or same crop, the consumptive use will be different throughout the day, because the consumptive use is nothing but a transpiration and evaporation, the water used in these processes. So it will directly depend on the sunlight. So the intensity of sunlight is not going to be same throughout the day. So at like in the afternoon it will be very high, in the morning, early morning and late evening it will be very less. So because it depends on the climatic condition, so for a same crop at a same place it will be different at various times in a single day. When sufficient moisture is freely available to completely meet the needs of vegetation fully covering an area, the resulting evapotranspiration is called potential evapotranspiration or consumptive use for that vegetated area. So in a particular field, if sufficient amount of water is available, so that water is available for the process of transpiration and evaporation fully, so that is the maximum consumptive use for that particular crop, hence it is termed as potential evapotranspiration, or in short it is abbreviated as PET. The actual evapotranspiration occurring in a specific situation in the field is called the actual evapotranspiration. So potential is the maximum possible, but if the water is not available sufficiently to meet the evapotranspiration needs, so in that case it will be less, and hence it is termed as actual evapotranspiration or AET. So one homework is for you, just comment below what is aridity index. This I have taught you in the hydrology lectures. So write down what is aridity index and how it will impact, how we can comment by seeing the values of aridity index. PET critically depends upon climatological factors rather than on the characteristics of plant and soil. The AET is largely affected by the characteristics of soil and vegetation. So these two are different, and their dependency is on different parameters. PET is depending upon climatological factors, while AET is largely affected by the characteristics of soil and vegetation, because it is the actual evapotranspiration, hence it is depending on the soil and vegetation. AET in the field can be measured by an instrument called lysimeter. So lysimeter also I have told you in the hydrology chapter when we were discussing evapotranspiration. So if you want to know how it works, you can just refer to those lectures. Now comes the next term is effective rainfall. So as the name is suggesting, the rainfall which is occurring is not going to be used properly. If 100 mm rainfall is there, so 100 mm rainfall will be used for different purposes. So what is the effective part of this 100 mm rainfall? That we will be terming as effective rainfall. So precipitation falling during the growing period of a crop that is available to meet the evapotranspiration needs of the crop is called effective rainfall. So which the rainfall out of total precipitation, the rainfall water which we are using to meet the evapotranspiration needs will be termed as effective rainfall. It does not include precipitation lost through deep percolation below the root zone or the water lost as surface rainfall. So out of total water there will be losses in surface runoff and percolation. So after removing it, whatever water is remaining, it will be used for evapotranspiration process, and that is termed as effective rainfall. Now let us understand few terms regarding the irrigation. First one is consumptive irrigation requirement, or CIR. It is the amount of irrigation water required in order to meet the evapotranspiration needs of the crop during its full growth. So it will be the full amount of water which will be used to fulfill the evapotranspiration needs of that crop during its full period, full growth, or this will be you can say it base period or crop period. It is therefore nothing but the consumptive use itself, but exclusive of effective precipitation, stored soil moisture or groundwater. So we can say that CIR is CU only. CU is consumptive use, but we have to reduce the effective rainfall, precipitation, stored soil moisture, whatever moisture is coming apart from the rainfall in if evapotranspiration need, we will be terming it CIR. So here we are neglecting stored soil moisture or groundwater. We are only considering RE. RE is effective rainfall, because these will be very less as compared to these two. Now second term is net irrigation requirement, or NIR. So it is the amount of irrigation water required in order to meet the evapotranspiration need of the crop, as well as other needs such as leaching. So apart from CIR was CU minus RE, but apart from this, the water lost in percolation, leaching, etc., this water also, if we are adding to CIR, we will be getting NIR. NIR is net irrigation requirements, because these amount of water we have to provide in the form of irrigation water. Now what are the factors affecting the consumptive use? So consumptive use or evapotranspiration depends upon all those factors on which evaporation and transpiration depend, such as temperature, sunlight, humidity, wind movement, etc. So temperature is high, so evapotranspiration need will be high. Sunlight is high, sunlight is directly you can correlate with temperature. Humidity is more, evapotranspiration needs will be less, because water moisture is available in the surrounding atmosphere. So let us just solve a very small problem depending to understand what are the terms we have just learned. The following table gives the values of consumptive uses and effective rainfalls for the period shown against them for the jowar crop sown at Bellary in Karnataka state. So it is some place in Karnataka state. For that, this data is given. The period of growth is from 16th October to 2nd February. So total number of days are 110 days. Determine NIR. NIR is net irrigation requirement for this crop, assuming that water is not required for any other purpose except that of fulfilling the evapotranspiration needs of the crop. So this is the assumption we are making. So what we have to do? So this was the table given. So just add one more column, and you can directly say NIR will be CU is given, RE is given, so we have to calculate NIR. This is Cu minus Re. So 37 minus 30.8 is 6.2. 84 63.8. 154.9 648 148.2. 188.1 186 185.7. 13.3 minus 1 will be 12.3. So this is the NIR required for these particular days. So total will be, just you have to add this column. This is coming out to be 416.2 mm. 10 12 19 22 carry 2 6 2 8 11 19 24 26 6 is here, 2 8 4 12 8 20 21 1 is here, 24 and carry was 2, 1 plus 1 plus 2 is, so or 41.62 centimeter. So this much water is required for the period of 110 days for this particular crop, which is being sown at Bellary in Karnataka state. So this is a very simple problem I have given you. So let us see what are the various methods. With the help of those we can estimate the consumptive use. So the most popular one is first one, that is Blaney-Criddle equation. There are three methods. So first one is Blaney-Criddle equation. So it states that the monthly, so in this question directly we have combined the all the factors on which the consumptive use is depending. So Cu is given by K multiplied by P upon 40. This whole is multiplied by 1.8 into T plus 32. So this is nothing but, if this T is temperature, so this is temperature in Fahrenheit. Okay, you can just see this simple formula, correlation between temperature in degree and temperature in Fahrenheit. Cu is monthly consumptive use in centimeter. K is crop factor. It is a factor which is determined by experiments for each crops under the environmental conditions of the particular area. T is mean monthly temperature in degree Celsius. P is monthly percent of annual daylight hours that occur during the period. So consumptive use were depending upon temperature, sunlight. So we have combined, and one factor is there which is incorporating the other factors apart from sunlight and temperature. So this is a very simple formula. Now let us see how we have modified this formula. So if P by 40, what we are doing, we are taking this is a one term and we are representing it by a factor F. Then we get Cu is K into K by F, K into F, because we have assumed this parameter P by 40 1.8 T plus 32 as F. This formula has been extensively used throughout the world for estimating seasonal water requirements. So this is the most popular equation among whatever we are going to study. However, it was found that the value of K based on seasonal determinations were too low for the short period between irrigation. So this K was very small because it was calculated seasonally. Okay, so how we have modified it? So this led to the further development, and finally the formula was expressed as Cu K times summation F. Okay, so for small durations we have to add this factor F and multiplied by K will be our what? It will give us Cu, or you can say Cu is K into F. This also you can write. Okay, so Cu will be seasonal consumptive use, that is consumptive use during the period of growth for a given crop in the given area. The above formula involves the use of crop factor, the value of which is to be determined for each crop and for different places. So we have to determine this crop factor K for different places and for different crops. At present, this information is not available in India. So in India, we are not having this value of K very precisely. Moreover, this formula does not take into consideration the factors such as humidity, wind velocity, elevation, etc. on which Cu depends. So it is taking only care of Cu T and temperature in sunlight mainly, and some very less significant factors which is incorporated in the factor K. So now let us just see one more problem depending upon this formula which we have just studied, that was Blenny-Cradle formula. So what the question is stating: wheat is to be grown at a certain place, the useful climatological conditions of which are tabulated below. So I will show you the table. Determine the evapotranspiration and consumptive irrigation requirement, this is CIR, of wheat crop. Also determine the field irrigation requirement if the water application efficiency is 80%. So it is eta A. Make use of Blenny-Cradle equation and a crop factor equal to 0.8. So crop factor was K. It is given as 0.8. So this is also very small problem. So this is the problem given. Okay. So what we have to do? Monthly temperature is given. This is T from November, December, January, February. Okay. Monthly percentage daytime, it is given as P, and it is given as RE. So what we have to calculate? We have to calculate CU. So this F will be P by 40, 1.8 T plus 32. For each month we have to calculate F, and finally after multiplying F by K will be our CU. Okay. So I am just putting the values directly. You can just check whether if something is wrong, just tell it to me, I will change it, but I don't think it is wrong. 10.3 and finally this is 10.3. Just put this P and T here and calculate these values. You will be getting these values. Okay. So the total RE, it is coming out to be 8.38 centimeters. This is in centimeter. Here it is written. And summation F is 42.7 centimeter. So what is CU? CU is K times summation F. K is 0.8. Summation F is 42.6. It is coming out to be 34.16 centimeter. So this is our CU. What one more thing it is asking? CIR. CIR is nothing but CU minus RE. CU is 34.16. RE is 8.38. So it is coming out to be 24.34 centimeters. One more thing was asked in the question: field irrigation requirement. Okay. Field irrigation requirement, this is nothing but CIR upon efficiency. So 24.34 upon 0.8. So in field we will be requiring 30.43 centimeter. Because why we are using eta A? Because we have to take into account the losses also. That's why we are using this. So finally we are getting field irrigation requirement as 30.43. This much water we have to provide with the help of irrigation system. So one more problem is there. So let us solve it. It is also not very tough one. So determine the volume of water required to be diverted from the headworks to irrigate area of 5000 hectare using the data given in the table below. Assuming 80% of the effective precipitation to take care of the consumptive use of the crop. Also assume 50% efficiency of water application. Eta is again it is given in the field, and 75% as the conveyance efficiency of the canal. So eta is given, eta C is giving, effective precipitation is given as 80% of CU. So let us solve this problem. This is very good problem. So this is the table given to us. Okay, so month, it is for whole year. You can see it is starting from June and it is ending in May. June, July, August, September, October. So it is starting at June and it is ending at A. Temperature is given in Fahrenheit. Percentage hour sunshine is given here. This is P. Rainfall given. Consumptive use factor K is given. Okay, so Cu will be K P by 40 into T. Why we are using directly T here? Why we are not using 1.8 plus 32? Because 1.8 T plus 32, in that T was in degree Celsius, but here we have given directly the temperature in Fahrenheit, so no need to convert this. Okay, so simply you have to multiply K P T and divide it by 40. But K is also here na, so just multiply this K P T. So this is K, this is P, this is T, and divide it by 40. You will directly get the values in this column. So I am just writing, you just calculate it. So this is 14.2, this is 16.13, this is 14.85, this is 12.78, this is 8.85, 6.50, 4.54, 6.31, 8.71, 9.28, 9.68 and 12.44. Okay, so RE is coming out to be 558 or 55.8 centimeter. Okay, and this is coming out to be 124.09 centimeters. So Cu we have calculated Cu, we have calculated what? RE. So useful rainfall is 0.8 into 120. Effective rainfall is 55.8, because it is given in the question. Just go through question, you will get here. There it was given, take effective rainfall as 80%. So this is coming out to be 44.64 centimeter. So NIR will be Cu minus RE. Cu is 124.09 minus RE is 44.64. Is coming 79.45 centimeter. So field irrigation requirement will be how much? NIR upon 8I, 79.45 upon 0.5, 158.9 centimeter. But what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the volume actually. So gross irrigation requirement at headworks. So in the field we require 158.9, so at the headwork it will be 158.9 upon, we have to divide it by conveyance efficiency, which is given as 0.75, that is 75%. So it is coming 211.85 centimeter. So this is depth in centimeter. So volume is 5000 hectare meter square into 0.85 it is in centimeter, so we have to calculate in meter. So it is coming out to be 1.5.93 into 10 raised to power 6 meter cube, or 105.93 million meter cube. So this was the answer expected from you. Okay, so if you are having any confusion, this is very simple calculation. We have to just multiply and divide. So we have completed Blenny-Cradle method. Now let us see what are the other different methods. So second one is Hargreaves class A pan evaporation method. So in this method, evapotranspiration is related to pan evaporation. This also we have studied in the hydrology chapter. So we are defining a coefficient K, which is equal to Cu is consumptive use divided by pan evaporation. So we will be calculating the pan evaporation, and after knowing K, we will be getting Cu will be K into Ep. So if we know Ep, if we know K, we will be knowing the Cu. K is different for different crops and is different for the same crop at different places. The above relationship is now available for various crops from many countries such as Israel, Philippines, USA and India. So this is not very popular method. So let us move to last one, that is Penman's equation. The Penman equation was developed in 1998, has more recently been introduced for determining the consumptive use of different areas of different segments of a basin, depending upon the type of vegetation covering each sub-basin. What is the advantage? The advantage with this equation lies in the fact that the different specified values of coefficient of reflection are available for different types of areas which can be used in Penman's equation. So these different reflections are known as albedo. Just search it. It is very important phenomena in geography. So that's why this equation has become very popular. So Penman's equation for computation of PET or Cu for an area has a sound theoretical reasoning. So this is this equation has taken care of every aspects, like most of the aspects on which consumptive use is depending. In fact, this equation has been derived by combining the energy balance and mass transfer approaches of the computations of transpiration and evaporation respectively. Okay, so we have taken care transpiration and evaporation respectively in the computation. Hence, although slightly complicated mathematical conceptual work is involved here, yet its use is becoming more and more popular in today's modern computation or modern computer age. This equation is very actually complex one. I am showing you the final equation. This, if you are just going through the values of H, Hn and gamma, you will be seeing that these are very complex terms. So this is the Penman's equation, where Cu is A into Hn plus Ea into gamma upon A plus gamma. So Cu is daily potential evapotranspiration. A is slope of saturation vapor pressure versus temperature curve at the mean air temperature. So this is the curve, this is A. Ratio of, this is slope of this curve, slope of saturation vapor pressure to temperature. This curve is there. So slope of this curve at mean temperature. Hn is net incoming solar radiation or energy. Ea is a parameter including wind velocity and saturation deficit. Gamma is psychrometric constant. So you can see this equation is combining solar radiation also. It is incorporating wind velocity also. So that's why this is becoming very popular, because now we are having very powerful computers. So with the help of them, we can easily calculate the Cu exactly, more precisely we can calculate. But for normal calculation, manual calculation, this is very complex. So we have completed this consumptive use. We have solved few problems. So this topic is over. In the next lecture, we will be discussing soil moisture irrigation relationships. So this is all for today. Thank you.